Apart from when I took office, first few weeks when he sent for me and said, look, I don't know what you want to do out there, but there are some things that you must do that I insist that you do. You must fix Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. You must fix the second Niger Bridge. You must fix Ilorin, Jeba, Mokwa. And you must fix Abuja, Kaduna, Zaria, Kano. Those were the 4 roads that were his priorities. It is a policy directive of our government, and it is a legitimate aspiration for every Nigerian government. And we believe that it is achievable, but we believe that expectations of our people must be managed. And we believe also that there must be a clear understanding of what needs to be done in order to achieve it. Let me be very clear that I have acquired and made myself familiar with very extensive literature about global power. One of the things you will see across the African continent is that it is only in the last decade or decade and a half that Africans, other than South Africans, paid attention to electricity. And let me share with you some of the interesting statistics. And that's why I said it's a question of all of us understanding what we need to do. So it's not government alone. Everybody has a role to play in deciding whether we can have uninterrupted power. You must pay for the power. You must not waste the power. There is no resource in life that is infinite. Every resource is finite. So if you waste it, it will not last. It's that simple. And we must see it as a resource. So in the societies where that is done, right, that is what happens. So you pay its real value. So you conserve it, just like your airtime. If you charge your phone and you decide to keep talking, after a while it will finish. So you begin to manage, you begin to text, you begin, what was that thing? We used to flash. So we all just need to understand this about power. Then the nations we want to be like, France has 50-something reactors from which it generates power, apart from gas, apart from coal and other sources. 50-something nuclear reactors. The United States has over 150, apart from hydro, coal, and gas. So there is redundancy over redundancy. If one power plant fails, another one kicks in. So that is the road to uninterrupted power. Okay, one of the things to say first is that there is a road project going on in every state of this country. That didn't happen yesterday. There's a housing project going on in 34 states of Nigeria. That didn't happen before President was elected. And as I said, power production has improved by 3,000 megawatt, from 4 to 7, averaging 1,000 per year. Transmission has increased from 5,000 to 7,000 megawatt, averaging about 700 megawatt transmission capacity improvement per year. Distribution has gone up from 2,690 in 2015, which reached a peak of 5,222, so almost 3,000 per over 3 years, averaging about 800 plus megawatt per year. That is progress from where we were yesterday. The journey to the Nigeria of our dreams is not a journey that happens in 3 years. Mr. President has delivered on the promises he made. That does not mean that he has not encountered new challenges. So, what have we done? We have increased generation of power from 4,000 megawatt to 7,000 megawatt in 3 years. So we're doing an average of 1,000 per year. And I can tell you before this year ends, 2018, I know where 900 plus megawatt is coming from. Because Azura will give us 459, Kaduna will give us 215, and Afan will give us 240. And that will happen this year. That's almost 1,000 more. Next year, I know where another 450 plus will come from. If you combine what is happening in Bahrain 2, Omoku, and a few other plants that are going to be ready next year with Zungeru, which has 700. So the road to more power is there. We are expanding our transmission network. We now have a 10-year plan. That is the plan in the drawing board behind you. So we know where we're going. So, but it's a journey. It's not a big bang. It's not a proclamation, be and it shall be. So I've told you those countries that have uninterrupted power, they have nuclear reactors by their dozens. So you don't build that overnight. So we are beginning to walk the journey of those we want to be like, what they've done before. First, let me say that I think we forget that there have usually been 2 or 3 of these ministries. It used to be Federal Ministry of Works and Transport. At some time, it used to be Housing, Works and Lands. So, and I think what has raised concern of people, really and truly, is perhaps the addition of power. But when you look at it, how much is left in power that is with government? Substantially, the whole of the power ministry has been privatized from, I believe, about 50,000 staff before privatization. Power now has less than 1,000 staff who focus mainly on policy and direction. That is one. 2, we perhaps exaggerate the consolidation of ministries. First of all, this is increasingly continent-wide practice. Ghana, Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya, and a couple have merged 2-3 ministries together for efficiency. We forget also that we were the ones who kept agitating for reduced cost of governance. And we forget that the president reduced 42 ministries to 24. Also, we refuse to see that I am not the only minister in this ministry. And try as I may, and that's why I say perceptions are very strong. On day 1, I was appointed minister. Mustafa Baba Shehuri from Borno State was appointed Minister of State. Suleiman Hassan Zaman joined us, I believe, last year as Minister of State 2 from Gombe State. So we're actually 3 people running 3 ministries. We have 2 permanent secretaries. We have very dedicated directors and senior officers who are supporting us. And really and truly, I think that members of the media perhaps should spend some time in defining and helping to share to members of the public what ministers do.